Seeing how divided our country is, the Super Bowl gave us hope for change. It all started with our national anthem. Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church, a black and a white person, singing our country's anthem together. Among those witnessing the moment, D.C. police officers Mike Fanone, Lila Morris, and Daniel Hodges. All three were injured during the January 6th attack on the Capitol. That's Daniel right there wedged in between the doors. Now, the family of fallen Capitol police officer Brian Sicknick was also there. The game featured a Super Bowl record 6 women to hold field positions. Tampa Bay's Lori Locust and Maral Javadafar are the first female coaches to win a Super Bowl. I just hope one day we can get to the point where we won't have to say the first woman to do this, but rather say they're the best to do it, and they just happen to be women. The game also included people we seem to forget to talk about. Warren Wawa Snipe, who's deaf and from the D.C. metro area, performing the anthem in American Sign Language. And 23-time Paralympic medalist and Maryland native Jessica Long, who was featured in a Toyota ad. Finally, unlike the NBA, WNBA, and NHL, the NFL took a chance and started a season without a bubble. Because of COVID-19, the NFL adjusted like never before. We saw at least one game played on every day of the week for the first time in NFL history. But they fit in all their games. We may still be divided as a country with barriers yet to be broken and still in a pandemic, but tonight we got a taste of what our country can and should look like.